Newcastle and Bath, the basement dwellers in the Prem, against those occupying the penthouse suite.
There we go.
Some 4 years since the Red Bulls, the artists formerly known as the Falcons, did a job on Bath down at the Rec. September 2021. Gotta go back to 2018 for the last time Newcastle beat Bath here in the fog on the Tyne in the northeast.
Ball's coming.
And already, ball's been out of play for a couple of seconds, but substantial toweling required for George McGuigan, the Red Bulls captain. Challenging conditions for the line-out throwers. McGuigan over the top to Sammy Arnold, reintroduced to the side after an injury layoff. Ball is chiselled loose. Seb de Chavez comes up with it. Simon Benitez Cruz, often Argentina's starting scrum half, has the jersey today. And Tom Christie, who's contributed 39 tackles, close to 30 tackles in his past 2 matches.
No. Let go of each other. Be onside, step.
Not a day to mess around too much in the middle third of the pitch. You see a lot of box kicking, a lot of contestables. That one well claimed by Bath. Carr Smith out to Francois van Fake. Beno Obano and Thomas Dutoy waiting in the wings today. Will Stewart been out for a while with an Achilles problem. Carr Smith came under pressure. Grayson with a commanding take. Bath have latched onto it, but the penalty goes Newcastle's way.
Through the gate. Come round through the gate. Here you go.
387 days since Newcastle's last Gallagher PREM victory, here against Saracens in late November. Right, Simon Benitez Cruz, a little scrum half, has come in to join the line-out. Throw one by Usher at the front. Maffey to Arnold, barrelling into Miles Reid. Benitez Cruz, Ollie Leatherbarrow. It's his first ever Gallagher PREM start today. 23 years of age. This is Christie, Super Rugby winner with the Crusaders. Leatherbarrow. Conan, Maffey, that's where they want him. Menacing the back line. Benitez Cruz, Leatherbarrow, piercing the line and all the way home.
It's really good attacking shape. Arnold's hit that line in at 10 off first phase twice now. They're trying to get at that seam, but getting some good go forward with some good shape. Great try from the Red Bulls.
One shot, one kill for the Red Bulls.
Yeah.
And they'll have the scrum from this restart as well.
Come forwards off him. Yeah, here we go. Let's go. Let's go, Brave. Let's go.
See, this would be a textbook example now. It's not just another set piece. This is when you really have to focus now as a forward group. Benitez Cruz on the ball there. He needs to really decide now, make sure we get a clean exit. How many times have someone like Falcon's got to try and then they might give up some points immediately or some territory? This has got to be a great set piece to get out of this territory.
Crouch! Bind!
You can see the numbers at the bottom of your screen.
Set.
Another telling stat, Newcastle with the most scrum penalties conceded this season, averaging close to 2 per match. Brett Connon whacks it down the middle, finds a gap between that backfield, and the ball's kicking back towards Herald. Fucking a singer under some pressure, powerful enough, abrasive enough to get out of it.
Missed the ball, he missed the ball.
Maffey just missed out on the steal. Griffin into Christie.
Pause for a moment, please.
Over to Yinbo waiting for this one. Invades Thucken a singer, but not Miles Reid.
20, teeth. Yeah.
Connon. Oscar Usher, 21-year-old, enjoying a breakout campaign in the Newcastle second row. Connon again, got it away nicely. De Glanville slips, 50-22 is on here.
Red Bulls doing really well.
McGuigan to Usher. Maffey's going to come tearing off here, introducing Sammy Arnold, providing the ballast. Benitez Cruz, Brocklebank tips it to Leatherbarrow. Brocklebank dumped in the background. Penalty Bath, Miles Reid with those wandering hands.
Is the ball carrier giving a tip? He's got to expect to be tackled.
He's done well, Reid. If you look at the support player for the Red Bulls, he's just too slow. Someone's got to be right on in there, right on that ball. Bath get 2 players over that ball, and Miles Reid gets on there, and he's supported by someone else. It's that double jackal. You've got to have a support player really close.
Yeah, last time Newcastle were in the 22, they're actually so good. It's really simple in terms of what they're doing. It shows a slight bit of deficiency from Bath. Have a look at that as a line that's really good, really physical. We know Bath like to get tight, up and in, but the minute you challenge that, what you're getting are players hitting on suspicion. That's what Dan Frost does. Leatherbarrow comes round the back and exploits that space there. So really good identification of being physical and trying to cut the seams of Bath's defence.
First time Bath have had pulls on the ball. Chris Harris dummying Maffey. Part of the Newcastle team last time they beat Bath here, Chris Harris.
No.
Centurion and Falcons colours as they were. Carreras and Will Butt, very much the gain line monster in that Bath backline. Griffin. Carreras sending it wide. De Glanville under pressure from Spencer. It's a great shot, but De Glanville is composed enough, classy enough to find Hennessy on the outside. Newcastle scrambling. Carr Smith missing one to Ewan Richards. Quick ball for Carr Smith. Harris knocking a singer, bouldering through the middle. Christie looking for the steal, doesn't get it.
He's not got his hands on the ball.
First time Bath have been in the Red Bulls 22. Carreras, plenty of options. Dan Frost is one of them. Dan Frost lost it. And the punters are loving this.
You mentioned Christie didn't get the steal, Jamie, but he did so well, didn't he, just to slow it down. Bath, we said this pre-match, they're so good at putting pace onto the ball. Spencer's really well to actually cut out that pass. You're all in or all out, but Bath get it away really well. But a few phases later, Christie vitally gets on that ball. He doesn't steal the ball, but what he does do, he steals time. And it means that the Red Bulls can get into shape and they can cause an error like that from Frost by putting pressure on him through line speed. So just competition on the ball alone, just to buy time, so you can fold, so you can get your space, so you can come off the line. Excellent play from Tom Christie.
Crouch! Bind!
Bath conceding a mere 5 scrum penalties this season.
Set!
They've played 6 in the big games.
Bind off the shoulder, get your bind up quicker.
What are you seeing, Sam, in these early skirmishes? Who's trying to set the tone in there?
See, so here, like, if I was the Red Bulls, you're not looking really for pure dominance. I just be like, look, let's just get a clean exit. Let's get a clean exit. Don't try and win that hit and give away a free kick for going too early. Just want it squeaky clean. It depends where you are in the field, whether you want to sometimes win a penalty. But in this position, nice strike, straight to and breaks feet, and not give away a penalty, which they obviously don't achieve.
Back you go.
Because that's the sort of scrum where Bath could gamble. If they said they do hook back to the 8, Bath are going to want a second shove on that and chase through. But just again, that penalty, that just shows the importance of a really good set piece, really good exit. You fail on exit, and now it's, oh, you're right up against it. So all these scrums, it might just seem another scrum, it's not. It's another opportunity to get 40 yards at the pitch, and obviously they fail that time. And Bath are going to reap the rewards.
Bath with absolutely no thought of going for 3 there.
Penalty advantage.
And they've got another penalty tucked in their top pocket. A couple of options on the blind side now. Those extra bodies going in to help the shunts. Carsmith eyeing it. Carsmith won't need to touch this. It's on roller skates. And Dan Frost, who knocked on a moment ago, plunders the try, and the champions respond.
Yeah.
So Emma Dodds asked the question to Brian O'Driscoll just before the game kicked off, what do Newcastle have to do well? And for me, it's the nuts and bolts. Sam just, for me, was so articulate in terms of what you need delivered from that scrum.
Thanks,
you shouldn't concede a try off one failed scrum, and that's exactly what's happened to them. When you are playing against the best teams, the most ruthless teams with the most amount of power, if you invite them into your 22, expect them to sit and camp and come away points, and that's exactly what Dan Frost and Bath has done today.
Carreras cannons it off the upright.
Yeah, he's overrated.
Newcastle still ahead by a couple.
But Santi, for me, he's brilliant. Another question posed: this Bath team better than last year? Yes, because there's not, I don't know, any team, club rugby, let alone international rugby, could you back up number 10 as one of the world's best rugby players, who's also brilliant at 50. Like, I mean, it's crazy what they've got to play with. I love watching Santi Carreras play. He just gets things ticking and puts you on red alert every single time he's got ball in hand.
And you'd have to think, Hugo, of all the English teams with designs on going far into the Champions Cup, not only are Bath best placed to do so, but best placed to do so while still dominating domestically. Yeah,
there are warning signs. You go back to Northampton Saints and their campaign last year, they weren't quite able to juggle the rigours of the Gallagher PREM and European, but if you sign Chris Harris, a British line, you sign Henry Arundel, you sign Santi Carreras, sign Dan Frost, that's going to help. So this isn't just the team to try and win the title again, it's to be able to compete on both fronts. I know it's only December, but they're well primed and positioned for what they're trying to do.
Knocked it on. Line that's over. There's some more, it's in 5.
And it's these little errors which will mount and potentially cost Newcastle. Have to be clean at the set piece. They weren't on this occasion.
Here we go.
They'll be disappointed with that. Sometimes there's a clever arm which can come through the seam of a lifter and a jumper, but that was just an error on their behalf. Frustrating for the Red Bulls. They won the ball in the air. It was a good call. Just poor delivery.
Bind. Set.
Clean platform for Bath. Carsmith Carreras. Harris came short. Hennessy was out the back. De Glanville. Well lassoed round the thighs by Elliot Obatayunbo. Bayliss, bit of footwork before contact. That's his super strength. Carreras with a whole load of heavyweights outside him. Van Fake was one of them.
Balls there, say.
Carreras again, taking it to the gain line, introducing Will Butt. Griffin. Bath with more carries per match than any team in England. And we'll keep pounding the rock and pounding it until it cracks. Hennessy went for the worldy pass to Will Butt. Over to Inbo. Taking the scenic route, and the scrum will be required.
It's outside.
It's really nice what they're trying to do.
So Johnny, pictures.
If you
just
see
making sure
how densely populated
and then also
the spaces around Santa Claras, there's 5 options every single time. Big units, big forwards, which you have to sit with. The first couple of touches, they went to the big truckers, then they go out the back. And if that goes to hand, I mean, we could be talking about another Bath try. They just repeat that shape time and time and time again, using the skill and the ability of Santa Carreras, as well as the brute force and shape of some of the Bath
Angling
pack.
head across, head on head. You back. 2, angling his head across, head on head. 10.
Here's De Glanville.
Get out white, out white.
Louis Hennessy, the young Welshman, up against Connon. Half gets to it first and gets a meaty shoulder from Hennessy. Adam Brocklebank, over 150 games for the Red Bulls, 100 now as a Gallagher PREM player today.
Be on side 2.
Up it goes from Benitez Cruz. Obatayunbo against De Glanville. What a steal that is from Obatayunbo. He's picked De Glanville's pocket in mid-air. Benitez Cruz wanted to release that quicker. Connon will chase Hennessy and Carreras across. Bounces wickedly for the Argentine, who's playing keepy-uppy in his own 22. Ransacked by Spencer. Hurl over the top. Red Bulls over the top.
Balls there.
Hamish Mills, referee, having a long look at this. Newcastle have stolen it. Big opportunity now. Arnold around the corner. Benitez Cruz waits, whipping the cattle around the paddock. Usher to within 4. Richards ordered off it.
Hands and feet.
Christie has a shot. The Chavez will protect. George McGuigan, one of the few Red Bulls to have beaten Bath.
9 advantage, penalty.
Penalty coming for Newcastle. Arnold, Spencer, not quite. Round the corner again, Benitez Cruz.
Yep.
Bath offside again. Newcastle through leather barrow, not quite.
2 offsides. 1 there, 1 here.
Talking about the nuts and bolts of the game. Obatayunbo, how good, how brilliant is that? That's aggressive, that's athletic. And when you have a look at them and then just chasing the space, knowing that they've lost someone in the backfield on this 4G pitch, it's so unpredictable, that bounce. But then I love the decision-making of this breakdown, something you'd have really enjoyed.
Good kicking has led them to these circumstances.
And top of the charts there in terms of contestable kicks. You can see exactly why they go to the air a lot.
Time for Newcastle to muscle up. Arnold with plenty of muscle. Connon didn't want to risk running away from his support. Benitez Cruz. Spencer, muscular carry.
Be onside.
Usher. Maffey, just the man Newcastle want in these positions. Benitez Cruz for McGuigan, hasn't held that. Always looked a tough one to take, and now Bath
Advantage is over.
running from deep. De Glanville can bang this into acres of unguarded plastic. Spencer leading the charge back for Newcastle under huge pressure.
Inside,
Will
always
Potts
inside.
there first.
Hands away.
Carreras is there.
13.
Harris is there.
Excellent work to get back, try and get back to his feet, and just buy a little bit of time for
15.
Newcastle Red Bulls to be able to just try and look after that ball. Now,
Inside.
the hard work is done. It's about skill execution and trying to get this ball off the pitch. This ball's been in play quite a long time now. You can see the lungs are burning, and that's
Touched.
perfectly
That is
executed
touched.
there. And this should be
Fingertips
Newcastle
touched.
Red Bulls ball again.
Touched. Line's yours, White. Touch on
Look
the
at this
charge
attack,
down.
boys. Is this the difference between the two teams? Bath convert more often in the red zone, Newcastle not taking those
Yeah,
chances.
we're still going.
Yeah,
That's
I
okay,
think so.
we're
I
still
mean,
going.
on this
Let's go.
clip, look at the work rate of Chris Harris. This is what you want to see when you're coming
That's
away
all right, we're still
to
playing. Let's
play
go.
Newcastle. You might not be a regular
Let's
starter,
go.
but what energy do you bring off the ball when you're playing in these games? That's a massive
Get in the
moment for
towel.
Bath just
You'll
to
do the
swing
same for you.
momentum. He works so hard. That's a 60, 70-metre effort, gun-ho, when no one else is watching. But it wins his team so much territory.
So many
Inside
occasions
5,
this season,
roll.
Newcastle have given themselves a mountain to climb inside the opening 20 minutes. That try from Leatherbarrow, just the second they've scored
onside.
in the first quarter of matches.
That's
Conceded
once.
12. Try difference of -10. Here's stuck in a singer, having a run at Maffey and Arnold. Arnold playing the role of speed bump. Carr Smith, space opened up for him. McCallum can't get him. Maloney and Funfake with Bayliss for company. Just went through Benitez Cruz, and the ball is loose, but it's come loose illegally.
You're offside. 9 is offside, playing the ball. Here. Good lad. 9 offside, playing the ball. On the 5. Yep. Yep. Edge. Edge is yours. Come up. 5.
Ethan Staden brings it away. Miles Reed caught by Christie. Bath inside the 22 again, and Dan Frost looking for a double, and he's... Oh, has he held that? Yes, says the referee. No, say 10,000 Geordies.
Okay. Live decision, Peter, coming to you. I've got a try. Just make sure we've got the grounding.
Yeah, okay, Hamish, we'll have a look. We'll get the best angles, yeah.
Thanks. Just if he's grounded it properly.
Just because of the celebrations, I hope he has scored.
Time's off, please, Susie. You've got that already. Well done.
It's a great break.
Just about 6 in.
Centre of gravity rides this tackle here. Bump. Oof.
Just looking in the background, mate. Come on over here.
Yeah.
That's a try. Yep, still a try.
I think that in-goal one's the best one, isn't it, Pete? It's
It is, yeah,
coming.
we're coming back to that. Yep, here we are.
Yep, still a try.
It's the one.
Well, this is the angle the officials want to scrutinise most keenly.
Yeah, still a try again.
Yeah. You happy with
Guys,
that, Pete?
come on.
He's always in possession.
Yeah, he's always in possession, yeah, and the ball's grounded, yep.
Okay, yeah, try's good.
No loss of separation or control. And after a lengthy check, Dan Frost's double is ratified. I was working the door at Jack Noel's pub during COVID not so very long ago.
Carreras.
Definitely not Carreras, no. The world's most handsome doorman. Lovely strike from Santi Carreras. Newcastle 7, Bath 12, and former bouncer Dan Frost doing some of the heavy work again.
It was just an error
That's
from
after the
guard
first one,
there.
put it in
It's
my pocket.
McCallum. He has to tackle Dan Frost there. If you're in that first position either side of the ruck, your sole job is whoever's on the ball, which is Dan Frost, he's your man. As long as the ball stays in his hands, he's your man. If he's going to pick and go, he's yours, and he's got to make that tackle.
Carreras immediately ghosting through a couple.
Use it.
11 right in front.
Up goes the contestable. No takers, but Bath
11, you're
offside.
offside.
Louis Hennessy.
Here, Wayne, here.
Yeah.
Offside. Number 11.
It's been a funny opening 24 minutes, isn't it? Because there's been times where when Bath put it into gear and get up the right end of the pitch,
Okay,
they've
let's
been
go.
irresistible, haven't they?
Come on, let's go.
But it's felt at times a game that's perhaps lacked a little bit of energy.
Red Bulls in the red zone. Can they turn this trip into 5 more points? McGuigan meerkatting at the back of them all. Helped out by Maffey.
Backwards.
Maffey has to pinwheel in
Offside,
field.
number 8.
Sammy Arnold. Bath
9, you
offside
have to give me a
again.
running commentary,
Another
thank
Newcastle
you.
penalty. Charge again from Maffey. How's he done that? Benitez Cruz has a little nibble himself.
He's good.
Newcastle
We're
will
coming
need the
back.
penalty.
Number 8, part of the maul, and then comes up offside. 8. This is offside. Yeah. Here, here. Here, here. Here. Offside. No, here. Number 8. Line is the middle. Line is the middle.
Round 2 for Newcastle.
Line's the middle. Step.
And you have to feel that you've got to make one of these count.
Inside 5.
You come for the king, you best not miss. Newcastle have squandered a couple. Not this time.
Bath aren't able to push them into touch. They hold really strong where Brocklebank is. That's why I think it's so good when you have a prop as a pillar of that maul. They're so strong where they can just be that cornerstone, and then you can rotate it towards the posts. Technically great maul.
So where you
Long way
going
to
here?
go in this one, but already they are defying expectations, upsetting early predictions.
Tips you, tips you. Tip's yours, tip's yours.
Bath, meanwhile, have amassed a quite astonishing 59 Gallagher PREM points in the calendar year 2025. It's 10 more than the next best tally.
Come in a bit closer than that.
Been so efficient, so consistent. And looking to be top of the league at Christmas time for the third year on the spin, the reigning champions. Win today would guarantee that. Up it goes from Carreras into the fog and the drifting rain. Grayson and Spencer are there. Spencer did so well to grasp that greasy rugby ball.
It's really well taken by Grayson. Talk about the accuracy of that kick from Carreras. I mean, literally 1 yard outside that 22. But Newcastle are doing a really good job now of manufacturing, getting the ball back into the 22 so they can go once again.
Ball down. Number 3, round his neck. No. If he's punched him afterwards, then we'll pick it up. But yeah, we will.
Yeah, the penalty's gone against Murray McCallum for a neck roll. Murray McCallum is complaining to Wayne Fowler, the assistant referee. There was a retaliatory punch.
If there has been something.
TMO Peter Allen will be sweeping that up in the background.
We're just slowing it down, yeah. Slow it down.
Just slow it down.
Slow it down. Slow it down. Time is off. Time is off, please. Just having a look what happened in that breakdown.
It's Brocklebank and Van Fake, the two loose head props.
Yeah, just give me a second, Hamish.
Yeah, that's okay. Take as much time as you need. Yep, which is what you got penalised for.
Hamish, I'm not saying that as foul play. I can see a clear punch. He's released himself and he's trying to get up.
No.
Yeah.
Carl Smith,
advantage, penalty
Bayless, penalty coming Bath's way too. They might not need it. Miles Reeds squashed. Van Beek stands and drives. Bath so effective in this part of the pitch. No team uses the pick and go weaponry more often. No team makes more metres around the fringes than the champions.
Hands away! It's clear ruck first.
That's loose, but they did have the advantage.
So number 12. Number 12, offside. Just a gentle warning, if you keep screaming at me, you're going to leave the field. Offside. Line.
Newcastle had to do an awful lot of this defence against the Lions last weekend. More than 70 rucks the South Africans built inside the Red Bulls 22. They only conceded the one try that day. We've got a bar up here because the boys from the West Country smell blood. Carl Smith to Archie Griffin, bashing forwards. Try is the call. A thunderous finish from the big tight heads, and Bath silenced Kingston Park.
It's a really good carry from Archie Griffin. He takes that contact and he doesn't go to ground. He fights to stay on his feet. Watch this now. He carries, hits contact, stays on his feet, and it just means he can find that extra few metres. It's a great mentality to have when you're carrying. Is not just accept contact. Keep pumping your legs through the player and through contact. They get the penalty itself from a great carry from Will Burt, who finds the soft shoulder. So the Red Bulls can't fold. They get offsides. They earn the penalty in the first place from a good starter play. And then just getting their big men on the ball with momentum, as we said pre-match. They're coming onto the ball with momentum makes such a big difference.
Right, so a 5-point lead for Bath, and we can have a chat with Johan van Graan, Bath's head of rugby. He's been waiting patiently to talk to us. Johan, it's been an end-to-end game in challenging conditions. What have you made of the opening half hour or so?
Yeah,
Sorry,
both teams throwing punches. I thought they first try they manufactured pretty well.
I'll keep it open for you.
I think we finished really well. It's just a battle of the middle of the field and in who gets field position at this stage.
And how do you win that battle? How do your game drivers at 9 and 10 make sure you get in the right areas of the pitch?
Well, I think they've been doing that really well at this stage. I think the first bit was just that offside of the kickoff. You know, so we've got to make sure we get out. They've applied pressure there, so again, we've got to make sure we get out of our 22.
Yeah, it looks like you're having some joy at the breakdown, Johan. You've got so many jackal threats. Is that an area you've targeted specifically to try and stop the Newcastle momentum?
Not really. Just stick to our defensive system. I think on this pitch you've got to make sure you get dominant shots first, and then if the opportunity presents itself, we'll take it.
And just lastly, Johan, talk to us a bit about Santi Carreras. There's not many teams that could swap Finn Russell out and bring Santi in at 10. What does he give you, and why did you express such keenness in bringing him to the wreck?
Well, I believe he's one of the best players in the world.
Let's get bound up.
Plays instinctively, and the message from me to him today was go and be yourself.
Johan Bayedanki, thank you for your time.
Thank
for
you.
the rest of the game.
Keep our fucking feet. Good gap.
Crouch.
Even bedraggled, even in the northeast, Santi Carreras as elegant and unflustered as ever.
Set.
And Newcastle back in this 22 again. Benitez Cruz to Sammy Arnolds. So often the gain line option for them. Mafi, speaking of gain line, speaking of power. Bath with a choke tackle. You want the maul.
Strip first by White.
It's been stolen off him, and Bath have turned it. And Carl Smith immediately laces it 60 yards away. Grayson's under pressure. He's got to pick his spot carefully. Forwards all retreating. Well, Hennessy takes it the second time of asking. Penalty to Newcastle. Bath sealing off. And they're going to get marched 10 metres here as well.
He's going to get the ball. Your 9 doesn't need
For
to
the
push
afters from Tom Carr-Smith.
I think this is not specifically that, but that type of penalty. I think are really annoying Van Graham at the moment, whether it's the inability to be able to catch a restart or being offside, all of these small invitations to Newcastle into the 22.
You take it from the mark.
You feed the beast in these games, don't you, Hugo? I mean, I'm asking you, didn't play very much up here in your Harlequins days, once or twice, but when you've got a bad weather.
Just not having to compound that error.
Backwards.
Well, an error from Bath, followed by a blunder from Newcastle.
Okay, no quick ones.
knows that was a
No quick ones. Yeah, that's you. Thank you.
Numbers. 4.
He's trying to catch out Archie Griffin. Archie Griffin's role at the front of that line out was to try and get sucked in to lift, but he stays out and reads Maffey really well.
Clean line out from Frost to Maloney. And Miles Reid working the space for Carl Smith to clear.
Use it, 9.
That's out! That's out!
Carl Smith not to touch. Over to Yinbo. Bounces off his chest, and he's going to be ransacked by Frost and by Thokana Singer. Big Joe's paws were on it, but Amanaki Maffey made sure there was no turnover.
Okay.
McGuigan called for it. Collins in the pocket. Into chase Bath backwards again, but
let go of each other now.
Carreras covers the space cleverly and then stabs it downfield again. It's an excellent kick from Carreras. Grayson will have to accept the goal line drop here. And it's all getting a bit testy. The crowd are getting involved. Newcastle won't mind this. They won't mind this becoming a niggly arm wrestle.
We don't need the 15 pushing him either. Okay, Black, let's go.
Carreras. Miles Reid with a 15-yard run up at the chasers. This is the benefit for the attacking team of the goal line dropout. Field position, possession. Harris now running the arc to Glanville. Fucking Singer was waiting. Conan made sure the pass didn't reach him. Bayliss is on his own. Sammy Arnold's on the ball. Newcastle have the penalty. Benitez Cruz wants the goal. Hamish Mills says he's not on the mark.
It's one of my biggest bugbears around referees. Why can't he? I know he's not exactly on the mark. He's 1 metre off the mark. But when he kicks the touch, I promise you now, he will be 5 yards in front of the mark and it won't be penalised. If we're trying to inject tempo into the game and allow broken field rugby and transitional rugby, watch where this, 1, 2, 3, okay, 4 yards in front of it, but a quick tap, absolutely not. It frustrates the hell out of me. Everyone here is desperate to see that quick ball and injection of life into it, but the law allows it for some and doesn't for others.
Ticking towards the final minute of the first half. Still a one-score match. Newcastle looking to level things up again. Conan and Arnold, once more the option off first phase. Benitez Cruz held it up for De Chavez, and then Usher. Newcastle flooding through, and then the ball dislodged, and Francois Van Veek. Clip that up, please. No. What a kick from the loose head prop over his shoulder. Textbook.
Advantage over, yeah. Knock on and
this is a move that Bristol Bears actually use quite a lot. Sending a couple of big runners at one defender, bisecting the two of them. Don't quite get it right there. I mean, he's thrown the ball up like a beach ball. However, the connection's very, very good from Van Veek there.
Agricultural, but effective.
White one. Just hold in there. Don't move off that.
Ellis Gens running it in from 50 at the big stadium. Francois Van Veek kicking for territory. More props, please. Conan, more conventional kicking style. So drop just outside the 22. Oh, de Glanville, sublime take.
He's not on the ball.
Newcastle screaming for the steal. They're going to get it as well. The counter up rather than the jackal. Arnold. Obatiumbo was crying for it off to the left. Arnold took it straight up the guts. Benitez Cruz. Big moment this for Newcastle. Conan with the kick. Grayson giving chase. Bath and the ball will beat him out.
He's going to ground it. No.
And that will be that for a frenetic first 40 minutes in the Toon. Bath, meanwhile, have scored at least 40 in each of their past 3 matches against the Red Bulls. Here's Amanaki Mafi, one of those first half try scorers. 35 years of age, but still dishing out such pain and punishment.
He's on now. Be on side, another half a step.
And a much cleaner exit this time from Newcastle. It's important for them.
10, please. Connect on that. Stay connected. 5, stay.
Cross to the tail into a leaping Ewan Richards. Reid, the option on the carry, hammering into Brett Conan. Narsmouth, where's that come off? It is a penalty.
Yeah, but
it had to be a
penalty. From making the pass to the right player. He tries to get out of the way, but he's stopped the pass, basically. Here you go.
Some interesting numbers at half-time. Bath and Newcastle with exactly the same numbers of ball carries, 46 apiece, but Bath making, well, really twice as much of the ground from those carries.
Well, on
50 metres to 79.
We have a look at the impact and the carrying capacity of Sammy Arnold. Oh my goodness, he is putting a massive shift already in that first half. Top carry out on the pitch there with 10. He'll be on defensive duty right now.
and Staden comes firing off the back of the maul into Maffei. 10 metres taken up. Frost hunting a hat-trick already. Bayliss stepping leather barrel. Christie brings him to ground. Champions beginning to flex here. Miles Reid. Inside again they come. Using the bludgeon, using the forwards.
Onside.
From fake. Griffin squeezing his way to the line. Still not quite. Round they come again. Still no clear grounding for the referee. Carl Smith was impeded, but the try will be scored.
No, it goes backwards.
5 trips to the 22
No,
and
very
4
lucky you can't
tries
use your feet
securing the
playing
bonus
nine when you're in
point.
the ruck.
Francois
Yeah,
van
you
Fleek
can't be in the ruck.
splashing down on the plastic.
Okay.
So Newcastle are lucky that they scored that, because that could have been a yellow card for infringing on the hand of 9 as well. But yeah, look at the patience. I mean, it's a lovely setup, isn't it, here, Sam? And then the amount of times Miles Reid is carrying in these tight exchanges. Dan Frost, another willing ball carrier, then it's patient. This is the infringement here, I think, from Sammy Arnold. I think that's offside. So fortunate anyway. Francois van Beek. Another very good try from Bath in such familiar fashion.
You all good, Pete?
Yeah, all good.
Every forward is comfortable ball in hand, aren't they, carrying? That's the thing with Bath. You watch them, they don't rely on, if you're trying to look at them as an opposition, so you look at this pack and right, there's these two guys who've got to really muscle up on.
Yeah.
They're all willing, whether it's in the wider channels, whether it's tighter, they're all willing to ball carry. It's just relentless, wave after wave.
7 games for Bath in the Gallagher PREM, 6 of them
now.
featuring try bonus points for the blue, black and white. Leicester Tigers the only team to deny them that, and so far the only team to deny them victory as well, with that late Billy Sherrill penalty. Tom Christie. Feels imperative for Newcastle, but it is they who score next.
Move out.
Yes, got you.
Conan, leather barrel, space down the short side, but Spencer's fired it forwards.
Option. Yeah. Option.
Great defensive set from Bath. There's 2 previous rucks they've competed
Line out
so
taken.
hard on. 2 players
Line out
each
taken.
ruck, counter-rucking. Hennessy
He's
was
yours.
at it, trying to get through, but stayed
Line
legal,
out.
importantly. They try and go down the
He's
blind
called line
side,
out.
so there's not an open side option for the Red Bulls to go. So they try the short side to find some space, and Bath are well set because of the speed of ball that they give in the Red Bulls, which is no speed of ball. They can just set, really good defensive set.
Well, a vintage line out from Bath, and that's classy from Benitez Cruz to tap it back with the instep to Maffei through Will Butt. There's Arnold running back towards the scene of the crime.
Hold in front,
Conan in the
back.
pocket.
Hold.
And again, going down the middle, something we've seen a few times today from Brett Conan. The Glanville alert to it on this occasion.
White out.
Ollie Spencer.
Yes, Black.
I like this patience tactically for kicking. I mean, Bath are trying to chase the space now, and you're just waiting just for a poor kick chase. Hobbiton Imbo, we know how deadly he is in open space, but that is quality kick chase from Bath. It was so important.
Hooking the ball back.
I was going to say keep hold of the ball, but they've not been able to do that.
Here goes Dan Frost, tipped it up nicely to Staden. It was Ewan Richards with the kick chase, and then Leather Barrow
First man,
stole it and then knocked it on. So
Clean
Will
turnover,
Butt looking to
then knocks
inflict
it on.
more punishments. Carreras, Frost, 7 style stuff from the champions. Reed decked. Got it first receiver. Carreras out the back.
Stop now,
Conan had come up, spacing behind the fly half. He's going to be under pressure here, but he's quick enough and fleet enough
Okay.
to watch it
I
go
think we've
dead.
got kick dead, so we're coming back. 22 or scrum back. 22 or scrum back. Scrum back. Scrum taken.
Right, let's have a chat with Alan Dickens, the Newcastle Red Bulls
Well stopped.
head coach. Alan, you impressed with what you've
Well
seen from your
stopped.
team so far? It doesn't feel like a 12-point game so
Scrum.
far.
No, it doesn't. I think
We thought
you
it
go
went-
back up. We were very
went dead
disappointed at
first.
half-time to concede that third try because we actually thought it was a penalty to us in the attack before. But look,
Here we go.
certainly one of the things we talked about at half-time, we've got into their 22 and we haven't been as effective as they have been. And we've seen again at the start of the second half that they've got in the 22 and they've come away with points.
What do you need to do to be more clinical, Alan? I know it's an easy thing to ask, a harder thing to answer.
We talked about being more connected in the in their 22, especially when we were 5 to 10 metres from their try line. I think we had a couple of backs waiting on the short side. And it's just more connected really in that area.
What is the key? I mean, for every coach, when you're watching matches like this, I was at the Allianz Stadium yesterday, Harlequins, loads of entries, 0 points. For you guys, you've not been as efficient as what you want to. So what is that missing piece when you get into the 22 to convert territory to point?
I think it's what we talked around there. We certainly weren't connected in the 5 to 10 minutes from their try line. And as I said, I think at half-time we'd entered the 22 more than Bath had, and they were more clinical.
We're seeing a few different things from your team tonight, Alan. Your kicking strategy from Brett Connors has been impressive. The attacking shapes as well that Stephen Jones has been working on. What has he brought behind the scenes? And are we seeing his fingerprints on some of the shape you're throwing around?
Yeah, I think you just talked there. He's a world-class player, and certainly with the kicking game, it's an area that we've worked on this week. And as you say, I think Brett Connors has been fantastic in the first 45-50 minutes of implementing what we've talked about.
Alan, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Use it. Advantage is over.
Again to Glanville and over to Yinbo. Brilliant tete-a-tete in the air that. It's gone forwards off the Glanville. Newcastle scrum.
It's excellent.
Here we go.
Alan Dickens, Stephen Jones, former teammate of mine, and Sam Warburton's as well. So he was an outstanding player, and I tell you, it's one of those
We're going to see some more additions to that Red Bull coaching team, undoubtedly over the coming months ahead of next season.
Have you heard?
Couldn't possibly share. Sources are confidential. I think a defence specialist would be high on their shopping list, along with many new players of international class, certainly, which are going to be announced over the coming weeks. Maybe I'll chuck a few names out there later, Hughes. We'll see. Arnold's. Over to Yinbo. Just a bit too much pep on the pass, but it bounces for Spencer. Chicken wing offloads to Ethan Grayson, who's bouncing off the touchline.
Miss the ball. Work.
Benitez Cruz. Maffey. Look how hungry Bath are to fight for possession on the floor. More jackals than any team in the league.
Backwards off Black.
Arnold under pressure. Newcastle spilling possession.
No kicks, no feet. Thank you.
Usher just has to soak up the collision.
Okay, well done, you two. Let go, let go. Use it.
A lob wedge effort from Benitez Cruz. Maffey through the breadbasket. Christie likewise. Leatherbarrow picks it up, and it did go forwards.
Knock on.
It was great pressure from Richards, wasn't it? I think all second rows need to have that as one of their main KPIs. Is just every time a 9 wants to come from that ruck here. That's great pressure from Carl Smith there when he carries
off,
then
please.
Second rows then just to get on the fringe. And when they're setting up that box kick, you're just breathing down his neck.
We're at Gloucester, we're at the Rec, Bristol, Newcastle, Gloucester, Sarries and Bath, Northampton before we round things off in the far southwest when high-flying Exeter, top of the league as things stand, host Leicester Tigers, likewise at the right end of the standings.
Bind! Set!
Bath hunting for the scrum penalty.
Balls away.
Miles Reid brings it clear. The dummy to Butt. Arsenal takes his time, puts it over the shoulder. Hennessy favourite for that
Backwards.
one.
It's gone forwards off
Through the hands of Newcastle and Ewan Richards. Romping, what a step from the second row. Foot to the floor, held the metre out.
The ball's there, it's your man.
Big moment this for Bath. A try here might kill the match. Penalty at worst for them.
Shot!
Carsmith goes digging in there. Harris dummying, spinning, stopped by the Chavez.
That's fine. 12. Off go.
Yeah, Sammy Arnold's off for 10. Cynical infringement, having made the tackle, didn't get out of the way.
Time's off.
How about the break from Ewan Richards? He's unfortunately down at the moment.
The starters doing a decent job. Will Butt sliding over. And Bath have their fifth.
Dummy sent me the wrong way as well.
Newcastle down to 14, and that numerical advantage ruthlessly exploited.
I think the Red Bulls thought they're going to go just with the forwards, but look, attack can be made quite simple. Who's your biggest back? It's Will Butt. And who is the Red Bulls' smallest back? It's going to be number 10, Conan. And Butt just has to put some momentum onto this ball, 1-on-1 v10. He's going to win that battle. Sometimes I think when you're close to the line, just look for your big men, look for where their weaknesses are in the defence, just go at it. Rugby is a momentum collision game, and Will Butt finds his man and obviously wins that momentum. Battle goes over.
And that perhaps exactly where Captain Sammy Arnold might have been stationed. Lovely kick from Carreras. 33 points to 14.
Conversion for Bath Rugby, scorer number 10, Santi Carreras.
Yeah, he's okay. He's still not off the pitch. Well, yeah, he's going. If you're going that way, we can play on.
Newcastle have taken off their captain, George McGuigan making way, Murray McCallum likewise.
He's taking his time.
Ollie Fletcher, Richard Palfreman coming on as well. Tom Christie will be the new captain. Manaki Mafi's been taken off too. Tommy Gordon, there he is, wearing 20. He's the Japanese replacement.
In. One more, Frothy. Use it.
What's just say for Bath? Whilst I accuse them of lacking a little bit of energy in the first half, I do often feel like this type of game is a really tough game. You've got lots of changes to your squad, of course. I mean, but that is outstanding. Off the back of scoring a try, you need that level of quality to be able to exit properly.
Time's off.
But when you're coming up to Kingston Park and you are the clear favourites up against a team that hasn't lost, you'd expect it.
Give someone a high five on the way off, please.
Bath bomb deployed.
Well done. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Players. Make sure you got 8 coming.
Every man, every world-class specimen, every muscular brute, every playmaking supremo emptied in one fell swoop. Feels almost cruel. 19 points and a yellow card up.
Yep.
This is one of many reasons why Bath are so formidable.
It's not a substitution, it's a flex.
Yeah, I've got 6.
It's just banter, isn't it?
Right. The easiest way is just going to count out 3. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Right,
they've got 15 on the pitch, that's perfect. Right, okay, happy, Greg?
So Dunn, Urbano, Dutoy, Hill, Underhill, Spencer, Redpath, Barbary, all on.
Good change.
Frankly, I have no idea who's come off, but does it really matter?
Penalty advantage.
Tommy Gordon on penalty advantage into Barbary.
9, you got penalty advantage.
Benitez Cruz just held it up for Ethan Grayson.
Release. Work.
Fletcher, Conan, Harrell. And Spencer got an arm to that.
So we've got thrown across at the line out first. Yep. Here you go.
Substitutions for Bath Rugby coming off. Number 1, Francois Van Dijk. Number 2, Dan.
I think the toughest job now is the poor old stadium announcer. He's going to run through this list of replacements, who's come on and who's off, for the benefit of those of us inside Kingston Park. I'll let the graphics bottom of your screen do the talking.
Coming on, number 16, Tom Dunn. Number 17, Barrow. Number 18, Thomas Dutoy.
White, on me, White!
There's the departing cast.
We'll find out. More, please, more, please. 6.
Just a frightening bit of kit to have in your toolbox. Not even mention those who aren't in the 23 today. Ben Russell, Henry Arundel, Will Muir, Guy Pepper. Newcastle throw squids.
Catch it out here. Catch it out here, and there's a contest. Option. Scrum. Here you go. Thank you.
How much of a psychological advantage does this kind of thing give you, Sam? You see Rassie Erasmus do it all the time for the Springboks. Johan van Graan rooted in that same Afrikaans culture where muscle and brawn and power is so prized. What does it do for a team when you're bringing this kind of pedigree off the bench, all in a oneer?
You're right, 100%. That's rugby. That's forward packs. It's about physicality. It's about that psychological edge. Yes, you need to be skilled. You need to be fit. But the game is physical. Set piece is physical. Maul is physical. Ruck clear outs is physical. Carry, defensive shots. You've got to win that edge. And when you're bringing on players of that experience, size, athleticism, you know, as an opposition, I was actually put myself in the Red Bull shoes. I was watching what the Red Bulls players were reacting like if I was in the line. I watched those guys come off the bench, and you're thinking, the game's been physical already. It's going to go to another level, and when you play the top teams, you can see this from GPS data, that the game, you want it to be elevated. That's the job of the bench, not to come on and just replace. Take the game to another level. So those guys who got 55 minutes in the tank are going to hurt even more, and that's their job. And that's what Bath have done so well over the last 18 months. They can take the game beyond other teams in that last 20.
I don't need to tell you that.
Quentin Maloney again. Throw wasn't straight. Tom Dunn will take the advantage and run with it. Spencer bedding the kick through. Comes off a Newcastle paw.
Coming back though for the not straight. Option. Scrum.
Just to give some context around the substitutes. Just looking at the tight five alone. There's Benno Obano, England international. Tom Dunn, Prem champion, England international. Thomas Dutoy, there he is. Probably the most valuable prop in world rugby. World champion. Can be world class on either side of the scrum. Scores you boatloads of tries. Ted Hill in behind him, England international. Newcastle need to do something similar.
And they are, and they will. I think this year is going to be a year of consolidation and really asking for patience and grace from everyone. We can't expect Newcastle to be able to compete at the very top of the table with the likes of Bath, who, you know, I think you used the word earlier, impregnable at times. But for next year and some of the players they've currently been associated with, I think that's a direct reflection of their ambitions. And if they get some of those over the line, we know some contracts have been signed and they'll be shopping. And then the year after, I think that's the point as to when they'll be expecting to be able to compete in that top four. And you do hope from that period that it's no looking back. The Red Bulls get the bug. They absolutely love it here. Get some trophies in the cabinet. And this place, which already been so faithful, are faithful for the reasons because this team becomes a winning team.
Balls away.
Here's Chris Harris at first receiver. Not his best pass between Carreras and de Glanville. The fullback recovers, but he's well chopped by Elliot Obatoyimbo.
Because he's in the way, you can't compete. 11's in the way, he's got to roll out first. Yeah.
Talking about some of the names that have been linked, a little bit fantasy rugby at this stage, but Hoskins Sotutu, All Black number 8 with English heritage, playing for the Blues, Super Rugby champion a couple of seasons ago, and heavily linked with a move here. Saracens also credited with an interest. Josh Hodge, formerly of this parish, has been rumoured to be returning to the North East from Exeter. Sam Graham at Northampton Saints, and a couple of his teammates also been linked in the press with a flip to the North East. The chat from inside Newcastle is that there'll be some big names arriving, many of them with international calibre, and then the year after that they'll be going for the very, very top of the range, the like of which Bath have in spades. There's Alfie Barbary, who qualifies in that category. Newcastle coming through. Play on, says the referee. Brocklebank entitled to fall on that.
Yes, on the ball, please, on the ball. He's got to release. He's a tackler, he's got to release. It's not a ruck because it's a tackle and it bobbles out, so there's no offside. Sorry? For what? Oh, for back on. 1 minute, 1 minute.
Into double figures with the next visit. Grayson looking for that.
Backwards.
Taken by a prone Tom de Glanville on the deck.
16, release. Let go. Let go.
Spencer using that more than trusty left boot, that excellent left boot. And Newcastle back where they started.
So good. It's not just the skill execution, but the fact he takes that responsibility on himself from the middle of the pitch to spanner that ball cross country Wow. That is efficient and very bright rugby.
So 7 unanswered points. Well, Sammy Arnold was off kicking his heels in the sin
You can't
bin.
grab him where you're grabbing him. Yeah. No, yeah. So that's why I told you let go.
Fletcher too high for Usher, and Tom Dunn, who's marauding again. Spencer, quick ball, Spencer taking the space that was offered to him. Wonderful pass to Reeds.
It's gone forwards.
Not so wonderful after all, drifting forwards.
Yeah, I think that's tight.
Blood.
Do you want to play well today? You better.
Time back on,
We've got
please.
Henry Arundel, we've got Will Muir, Tom de Glanville have a decent game because Santa Carreras, he can play 15 by the way as well. So it's everyone not wasting a minute, not just here on a Saturday or a Sunday, but on the training pitch as well, because we're seeing the quality on the bench as well as some of the players not even involved.
Set.
Little interesting head-to-head at the side of that scrum. It is a penalty to Newcastle, by the way, but Ben Spencer and Simon Benitez Cruz. We saw the Argentine tackling the Englishman. Those two going head-to-head again, having done so at Allianz Stadium just under a month ago. Final Quilter Nations Series match for England against the Pumas.
And conversely, by the way, JB, from a Red Bulls perspective, you know, they're not going to be expected to win this game, but say, for example, an attacking perspective, Stephen Jones want to pull up 3 or 4 examples where their attacking shape really caused the Bath defence to be under a lot of stress, and simply in defence they want to say, look, this is what we can do, and it's just building up these small banks of evidence, so when they move forward they can just constantly get better. As Hugo said, this is a 2-3 year journey. Year 3 they want to be hitting their straps. All these games now, they just need to keep displaying evidence that they can improve and that they are improving, and over time that will snowball.
Couple of changes for Newcastle. George McGuigan back on temporarily. Only Fletcher off to get a head wound stitched up. And Finn Baker, whose first job is to win that line out, on for Seb de Chavez. So 2 21-year-olds now in the Newcastle second row. Benitez Cruz. Up it goes. Spencer against de Glanville. Another supreme bit of aerial skill from Tom de Glanville. He's bossed those head-to-heads.
Tackle!
Carreras. Underhill. Oh, have a seat, Alex Herrell. And Obatayinbo and Tommy Gordon. He can't do it all, can he? Benitez Cruz and Grayson get to him. Carreras now delaying the pass. Options on the outside. Obatayinbo recovers. Bath chasing a 6th here. Maloney. Dunn trying to rip it off him.
20 hands away! Sorry, lad.
Barbary to Underhill. Bit of vengeance dished out by the Newcastle pack. Thomas the Tank Dutoy.
Be onside.
Do better in these areas. Barbary, hair flying everywhere.
No, keep going.
Done.
He's not on the ball.
Spencer, this one's heading wider. Red path, Carreras wrapped up. Highest face count in the game this for Bath. Spencer over the top, it's a belter. It's a beauty. Ben Spencer with a pass from the gods. And Tom de Glanville in at the corner.
We will.
It's so nice. It's 9 and 10 with the 2 decisive passes. The first one set up by Santi Carreras, who goes to Underhill, who just goes on an absolute madness, rampaging in the middle of the pitch. And then that ball from Spencer to de Glanville. Look at this from Underhill, bang. I mean, another violation there on Hurl. But he's not done, keeps pumping his legs. I love the fact he keeps putting the ball back into 2 hands, looking to try and find a little bit of support. And then Spencer here, that is stunning. Because it's not just about the accuracy, it's the speed and the trajectory of it. These are the options I'm speaking about. Oh, they're checking that. Is that forward for me? That's okay. I'm saying that because that was excellent.
Tries all good, Hamish. Yep.
He's checked it. Yeah, he's checked
Brilliant
it.
play from the league leaders. Let's enjoy this from Sam Underhill.
Nah.
He's known for his defensive work, Sam, but ball in hand, he's a big bit of kit, isn't he?
And when Underhill come through with really made a bang back in 2018-19 alongside as a duo with Tom Curry, the game was very defensive then. It's shifted a lot, isn't it, to attack, particularly in the Gallagher PREM. And I think as players you have to evolve and you have to add more strings to your bow, and players like Underhill and Curry, for example, are now both extremely good attacking players. We know they're defensively the best in the world as well, but got to be great both sides of the ball now, and top back rowers are just that.
Sam, is there a better technical tackler than Sam Underhill?
Great question. I answered this the other day, and I don't think there is in the game right now. He's absolutely brilliant.
Do you know what? We'll come back to Sam Underhill in a minute, because Joe Thokinasiga is tossing it on the insides. Bath have just run the length of the time from 1:22 to the other. The Globetrotters from the West Country arrive in the far northeast. Ben Spencer with a finish.
Yeah, this is so pleasing here. Look how connected they are in attack. Something Alan Dickens was talking about. He felt the connection in the 22 weren't quite there, but look at the amount of numbers, players in motion, and then Joe Thokinasiga with that final offload. Slow down just to make sure it's legitimate, but the build up, the play, every single thing, oof, does drift forward, but I think that the fingers of the hand goes back. They've scored so many different types of tries, whether it's pick and go, but as a former winger myself, that has been the pick of the bunch today.
And the miss from Santi Carreras, not like him, but it's not a game where it's going to matter.
1 and 12.
Talk about the bench elevating the game. That's exactly it. Newcastle might be hoping that they go to a box kick and just a nice exit, but Carreras heads up, no, play out the back. The ball comes out the back and they play to space where they're set. There's really good energy from the bench that they just, and it is that point exactly of just being so ruthless. Just don't let up, It's as Hugo said, it's an opportunity, but other players will step in. Max Clark comes off the bench now into this Red Bull side. They're trying to short this last 10 minutes, but the energy that this bench is bringing, the levels that Bath are continuing to take this game to another level, Red Bulls are struggling.
No. Use it. Ross! Use it.
Substitutions for Newcastle Red Bulls coming off number 1 at the Rock Bank, number 12 Sam Arnold.
Sorry, lads.
Coming on number 23 Max Clark.
Glanville again. Such a
No, not touched by anyone.
dangerous man in the air, Tom de Glanville, whether he's defending or attacking.
Blood reversal 2, please, Seb. blood
Ollie
reversal.
Fletcher's been patched up. He's going to come back on for George McGuigan.
Still.
Hooker for Newcastle.
Here you go, that's yours.
Right, there's a fair few players to pick through here, starters and benchmen, for our Gallagher PREM Player of the Match contenders today.
Been impressed with Ollie Leatherborough's physical effort to try and contain this Bath team, but I mean, Dan Frost has been exceptional, both sides of the ball, a couple of tries, brilliant in defence. Miles Reid is always so good in the Bath shirt, and Will Butt has been excellent taking Bath forward. So, I mean, 3 real physical players who've been the sort of heartbeat of that effort today for Bath, all with great performances so far.
Tackle! Let go of each other! Let go of each other!
Bit of afters here between Alfie Barbary and Tom Christie. Barbary complaining of an elbow. Christie carried into Barbary.
Come here.
And it just spilled over from there.
Come here. Right. Pair of you, calm down. We're not holding players after the game, after the ball's away. We're not doing it. Get on with it, okay? Relax, get on with it. Thank you.
No malice.
Legit, that
Team still in
conversation,
possession, scrum here.
that conversation
Team still
there
in
is
possession.
going to be replayed, I reckon, 1,500 times between Christmas
having it
Day and
here.
Boxing Day at each and every one of our households. Just calm down, relax, just get on with it.
No malice over the dinner table.
It's all right. We can get the front rows getting bound up. We'll get a ball for you. We'll get a ball for you by the time you're... Yeah, their ball. They were last in possession.
Let's go!
Talking of Sam Underhill, Sam, it's the biggest shot you ever took in a game. You left you on the floor.
Let's go!
I remember playing Leicester in a pre-season friendly. I was about 21, and I took this almighty hit off a line break from this 18-year-old monster who'd just come through the academy. And when I got up, I had a look, and I looked at his name, and it was Manu Tuolangi, and he was only 18. Thank goodness he didn't hit me properly when he was 24, 25.
Here's Alex Howell for Newcastle into Redpath and Reeds, who has been everywhere today, the Bath captain. Bicker.
No, timing's good.
Connor, Fletcher, Spencer, Max Clark, former Bath man, dribbling the kick through. Carreras, graceful as ever with the kick.
Take it
8
back
minutes
in.
to play. Newcastle need to score twice to salvage a bonus point from this. The first time they've managed that this season. 3 tries against Northampton, the most they've scored.
Holding. Come out! Out 10!
Spencer, classy take. Classy offload as well to Thomas Dutoy. Heading back home to South Africa, leaving a trail of bruised and broken bodies in his wake next season.
Use it!
Ben Spencer's come a cropper, just out of your right-hand side of your picture. Just took a bang to the top of the head in that tackle. He's playing on for the time being, but the medics will be understandably keen to keep an eye on him. Over to Yinbo, Kokona Singer battling.
It's knocked off a tip.
And the knock-on from
Tip
Big
of his
Joe.
finger. Crouch! Bind! Set! Balls away.
Benitez Cruz and Conan sniping down the left. Baker.
Sorry, fella.
Good leg drive from the young man. Conan. Hancock. Conan was thrown it straight to Spencer. And then Miles Reid picks it off. Herreras. Bath looking to bring up 50 points.
16, well done.
Redpath, this could be a 50-22.
Take him back, yeah, take him
But it's
back.
been passed back over the halfway line, so Newcastle throw.
Nice JC.
Not part of Scotland's Quilter Nation Series squad, Cam Redpath, perhaps surprising, but with Hugh Jones missing, Gregor Townsend had enough inside centres in his arsenal. He needed outside centres to cover, but this is what Redpath gives you. Second playmaker.
We're playing.
Extra fly half.
Here's a jumper. Here's one of our jumpers, otherwise we wouldn't.
Time off.
Sorry.
Time off, yeah, time off. In 5.
Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going!
A solid exit again from Newcastle.
Here you go.
Ball and then the boot of Simon
Black,
Benitez
top of the line.
Cruz. He'll be a big player for them for the next few years.
Yep.
Him and Tom Christie,
15
two
black,
they've
please,
signed that
15.
look like long-term starters.
You're top of the line. Yeah. 15, please, Seb.
I'd say the same thing, Jamie. You know, if
15.
you look at what's been good today, I think they've thrown some quite nice attacking shape, particularly in the first half, and tactical kicking was good in the first half. Exits have been good. There are aspects which they've done really well. It's just, you know, we saw the lineouts there, 5 lost, and some red zone entries. They haven't come away with much, but there's a lot of aspects of the game they can go back. Yep, that's good. Let's bank that and work on what didn't go so well. But some things that, nice bits of evidence, they just keep stacking.
Option.
Right, a couple of minutes left on the clock, and this scrum gives us the opportunity to pause and reflect on our Gallagher PREM player of the match. You've gone for Sam.
This is what happens when you hand it to a forward. I'm going to hand it to somebody who's right in the heart of the scrum, but not just because of his try-scoring efforts, but whenever I was watching Bath defending or kick chase, he was just there, a menace in the rucks, but listening. I mentioned that before, like, you know, but it was disciplined competition at the ruck. I thought his work rate around the pitch, both sides of the ball have been exceptional. Obviously his finishing ability, his darts have been solid, as we just saw as well. So our Gallagher PREM player of the match is Dan Frost.
Here's Clark for Newcastle. Conan moving it wide.
13.
That's one more opportunity to show us the shape they've been working on with Stephen Jones. Leather barrel in his 4th minute try. Put them in front. Benitez Cruz repelling 2 with a handoff. Obito Yinbo. Bath are on that. Bath have the penalty.
First man.
Again, the Gallagher PREM's most potent jackals. And it's Chris Harris, 34 years of age, winning steals, 30 points up in the 78th minute.
I love the fact that 4 players simultaneously scream yes, which surely has an impact on the referee to make sure that he just hyper focuses on that competition, because you can see that or hear that the 4 Bath players are celebrating that. Sometimes it can get a little bit annoying, but it does just heighten the referee's awareness to what's going on. Harris is really well just to beat Max Clark into that ball. So it's really good technical work from Chris Harris.
Top of the line's yours, top of the line's yours. Thank you.
Bath already posting a record score here in the northeast. 43 points, 3 more than the previous benchmark set in this fixture this time last year. Tom Dunn heading for more, hungry for more. Spencer waits, options either side. Barbary is one of them. Furious carry from the number 8. Reed, the captain. Obano, spring-loaded quadriceps. Thomas Dutoil fancy a crack here. Typically takes some stopping.
Be onside.
Reed again.
Penalty advantage.
Newcastle offside again. Hill, and the try will stand.
Try that.
And Bath have a kick to bring up 50 points on Tyneside.
Definitely the rock. What, fucking? I didn't say anything. Depends how long he takes on his kick.
Tries good, Hamish.
We've still got time. Still got time, yeah.
This is what you build squad depth for. You build squad depth because you want to, in the middle of winter, when you're looking at the fixture list, you're looking at that away game up in Newcastle, and you want to be able to rotate and pick a 23 which can come up and do a job. And to put 50 points on the Red Bulls, I know they're a team who are building in transition, and it's a long-term project, but it does just come to show the depth. Not many teams think would put 50 on up here in end of December. It's a very comprehensive win, dominant win from Bath, and just showing again the depth that they've got, which is the envy of a lot of the league right now.
Yep, Ted Hill wearing the scars of battle. We'll be finding those black rubber pellets everywhere for the next few days.
And you mean everywhere, and I'm talking from experience.
Backwards.
Bath have it again. Do they want to push the envelope? The last play of the match. Or are they happy with what they've done on the last round before Christmas? There's your answer.
Well done, lads. Have a good Christmas.
For the 3rd year in succession,